Alright everybody, SinaCup is back. We're down to 3. IG, LGD, and Tongfu are your 3 remaining teams, and well, it's a pretty formidable top 3 at that here in the Chinese SinaCup. We've got IG versus LGD, our winner bracket final. I'm Gods from Beyond the Summit. Joining me is Luminous. Lumi's got his tea, he's had his cereal, he's wide awake at 3 in the morning.
Not really.
And
I'm awake.
Well, we're not going to see an OD. That's one thing that would have put you right back to sleep.
Right.
But we do get an IG lifestealer, which is something they're very comfortable with. We'll hop ourselves into the draft for those of you guys who aren't seeing what we're seeing, but you will now. It's the draft for IG versus LGD. This is a best of 3 winner bracket final. These two teams yet to drop a series. They've dropped games here and there. LGD beating Tongfu 2-1 in the winner bracket semifinals. IG, they took down Vici Gaming 2-1.
Ooh. Right from the get-go. Elder Titan.
Dang.
We saw our TK pilot this year quite a bit for
Vici Gaming.
Yeah. For those of you guys that didn't watch the SinaCup previously, we have VODs available on Beyond the Summit. But more importantly, I want to really talk a little bit about the two teams. Invictus Gaming, of course, back to what they're really good at, in my opinion, which is aggression. They have swapped out Sylar, and they've got themselves, or excuse me, they have swapped out Zoe, and got themselves Hao, which to me is a carry with fangs that could come out and play very, very aggressive early on and do a ton in terms of map control and joining team fights. LG Gaming, for the games that we have seen them in the SinaCup, they've been playing a lot more aggressive than had before. The traditional LGD is we lose the lane and then we come back, mid to late game with really, really good Roshan and late game control. Now they're just taking early game team fights. They're playing a lot more aggressive than they have. So this should be a very good game to kind of see if LGD will try to continue to play that aggression, or will back off a little bit against a very good opponent in Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, and it seems like it's not just LGD, it's the Chinese teams as a whole are sort of looking to reinvent themselves a bit. We still see some of the standard picks which make the Chinese team what it is, which is your Elder Titan, your Lifestealer, but they're playing a much more aggressive early game to mid game centric playstyle. None of the teams are building towards a late game. We haven't seen your Antimates. We see Zhou every now and then play the Morphling, which has become a bit of sort of a trademark here of his, but that's over with Tongfu, and even then
they win in 25 minutes when you play Morphling, so it's
exactly. So
it's the same heroes, but they've been using it a lot more aggressively. And I think the other days, both of us were like, "Are we casting Russian Dota? Or are we casting Chinese?" Because there's no Chinese here.
You're seeing Spirit Breakers.
Yeah, Well, I think Spirit Breakers a lot of time, and now a Wisp. Actually, LGD is the one team that's been using Wisp quite a bit. I think we're laughing at it as was like, what's going on here, but at the same time, in order to win a TI, you need to know how to use Wisp.
And you know how to use every single hero that's viable.
And you need to know how to beat Wisp. So for them, they're picking Wisp, which is they don't really have confidence in this hero just yet, because if you do, it should be a first pick. At the same time, they're trying it out, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think last time they played it, they didn't actually pick like an obvious partner for it. It was maybe something similar. It was just a Wisp Weaver. Wisp wasn't used as like that early relocate ganks as much as sort of other teams may use it. It wasn't your standard Wisp CK, but IG themselves have 2 more picks coming up, and well, they've just gone pretty cookie cutter here. The Rubik pick we've seen countless times, following a Weaver pick to steal the Shikuchi and just make. The Rubik just suddenly becomes like so much more powerful when you have the Weaver on the other team.
Yeah, and then in the draft we're waiting for things like Chen as well as Lone Druid as the obvious follow for IG. But I wonder how Elder Titan kind of adds or kind of affects this particular pushing strat, because Elder Titan Spirit is a great defensive spell in terms of against pushes. Not only does it nuke the creep wave, it also gives you great AoE. But there's that Wisp PK coming out from LG Gaming, and Gyrocopter is going to be the follow for Invictus instead of the standard Lifestealer and Chen that we see so often. So we'll see. I feel like here we go.
It begins.
It begins.
Oh,
should have none. Should have knew. All right,
we're back offline.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I just love the first person who does it has like already clued in and come up with something very unoriginal. But
very unoriginal. Come on, you gotta do better than that.
Yeah. He's added me now.
What? He's added you? He didn't even bother to change his name.
Yeah, I was expect something targeted at me, but that's poor form. That's some weak trolling going on. But LGD with this CK pick, we're looking towards, well, with CK almost guaranteed to be lane together, which puts either Weaver solo mid or in the safe lane. So either way, Weaver should be getting some alright-ish farm here. Elder Titan we've seen mostly played as an off-lane hero.
Yeah, and I think what LGD has to be really careful about is the possibility of Invictus Gaming either going offensive trialing, defensive trialing, even putting the solo mid gyrocopter in the past. We've seen Lifestealer on the mid lane as well. I think LG Gaming on their own right has some laning versatility, with Weaver going to any of the lanes, Elder Titan being good on off and mid, and of course with CK you could go mid as well as a safe lane. So I feel like both these teams have very, very good options in terms of laning, but Invictus Gaming has the more traditional, robust, safer lanes to work with.
Yep. Well, both teams do need one pick to round things off. The LGD almost guaranteed to be grabbing up another support. Invictus Gaming, similarly, we've seen Nyx Assassin as a solo mid as well as a support, and IG. Do you feel there's one either way they sort of lean towards?
I see Ferrari play Nyx Assassin quite a bit, although I personally don't like his Nyx. It doesn't seem as effective as the other Nyxes, or more importantly, his other heroes. I feel like picking something like a Templar Assassin here would be pretty good. Not necessarily too good against the Weaver, but good against just about everything else. The Elder Titan relying on his HP pool and armor to survive. Same thing with Chaos Knight, and I think Templar Assassin adds quite a bit to that.
Yep. Well, we'll see things round down. Those of you just tuning in, this is the SinaCup. I think it's just like a small little Chinese sort of... It was meant to bridge the gap between the professional scene and the amateur scene because it was an open qualifier. The top Chinese team, 6 of them invited, and then 2 teams came through the qualifier. But about $5,000-$6,000 up for grabs here in this small little cup. And the last few bans here, no surprises. The amateur team's getting knocked out fairly early. The one exception, Ogura Yue, they actually managed to beat Rattlesnake, who was one of the invited teams. And I think definitely showed some promise. We saw some very exciting games coming out from them.
Yeah, that's where you kind of have your new blood of your, I guess, your amateur scene moving into the professional scene. And that's important for 2 reasons. First, you get new players recognized under the professionals' limelight. So maybe if pro teams need to poach more players, there's a wider pool of poaching going on. And secondly, there's more of these small-scale tournaments, which means your LGD and Invictus Gaming get to practice more against each other in official matches, which matter a lot more than scrims. That's kind of one of the...
One of their big complaints going into TI3.
Yeah, they don't have enough practice.
Well, Chen does make it through very late, and LGD will pick that. The Wisp Chen is something often teams will go, Kaipi were running this yesterday, it's something that Alliance do all the time, so getting Chen as the last pick, I feel, LGD will be pretty happy about.
Yeah, LGD will do very well at losing their early game lanes. Very traditional LGD status. Because if Invictus Gaming decides to offensive trialing against this, they're not getting anything done. Because Chen's going to be in your jungle, Wisp PK is... I don't know what they're going to be doing. I think what LG Gaming can do, and Xiao is really, really good at doing this, is predict where the lanes is going to be coming from, and then counter it. So you could put your Wisp CK mid and put your Weaver defensively, and then if he faces against offensive trial lane, well, he faces against offensive trial lane do well, in fact. So I think LG is actually okay.
I think that's one of the big Elder Titan weaknesses, though, is that he's good as an offlaner against like your dual lanes, trial lanes, but he doesn't do very well in 1v1 matchups, at least not most 1v1 matchups. Like, just if you put a hero safe lane solo, it's going to be something like a Weaver, a Gyrocopter, something that will win a 1v1 matchup against an Elder Titan. And that's where I feel IG may really look towards that offensive tri lane.
His strength is the fact that he's really good at harass. You drop an Astro, that's an harassment itself, and then you gain about... You go up to like about 70-ish damage, which is pretty impressive in terms of lasting and denying. I think it's maybe 70 or 80. So... it's okay, especially if you get the Bottle Crow. Then he suddenly becomes pretty respectable. It depends on who you want to end up against, though. Invictus Gaming taking their time. Maybe the Chen now kind of deter the Templar Assassin. Not exactly too good against the hero that could remove all of your armor. So it's going to be Nyx Assassin solo mid. And we're going to see Enchantress being the last pick up here for Invictus Gaming. Last time we saw, or we haven't seen an Enchantress Chen war for quite a bit, because the junglers have been really phasing out.
Well, I'll be interested to see if they go for the offensive trial and look to contest the jungle. Enchantress generally with the slight edge there, just because of the spammable enchant, as well as having the ability to have more creep, more than one creep at a time at the early levels. Chen has hit level 5 before like Napanin. Something that generally with Chen play is you don't actually help the lanes early on. We saw yesterday with Kaipi, AUI is just like, I'm just going to farm, and that's I feel like how
the trend,
that's how majority of Chens actually play. They spend the early game farming. It's not about that pick up one creep then smoke gank. Nope, you just farm until level 5, level 6. Then you go for a smoke gank, but the smoke gank's more intended to push a tower than actually get a kill. It's like get a kill then push tower. If you don't get a kill, you just push tower.
So we're gonna see Weaver being handled by Xiao 8, which is the solo player for LGD China. But at the same time, To me, I don't think that's really a Xiao 8 hero. Xiao 8 is really good at those AoE initiators, your Pucks, your Magnus. He sometimes does play an off-lane Nature's Prophet, so maybe he could still go off-lane. We'll see.
Well, we'll see a quick pause coming out. Even Chinese players need to use toilets during games, apparently.
Man, nobody has respect for the captains. It's like, oh, draft time. Time everybody else.
Yeah.
Go
Leave Zhao Wei to do his thing.
eat breakfast and go bathroom, take a break. I don't know. I
Well,
thought this is a team participation.
where's the team bonding? Whose draft do you favor here? Right, just from looking at it right now.
I like LGD draft a lot more in terms of what it offers to the table, like newer heroes, and seeing a Chinese team play Wisp and Elder Titan once again is always a very nice treat. But if you just look at who has better lanes, I gotta favor LG by a mile. And it looks like they are gonna go off with the tri lane.
Yeah, they've got How headed up top, not going to be an off-lane solo. And this is one of they kind of need to just because they don't actually have an off-lane hero. Lifestealer being the closest thing to that, but they're going to put Lifestealer in the 1v1 matchup. YYF 1v1 against an Elder Titan, but Elder Titan's not heading bottom. This is like you say,
Yeah.
Zhao Wei's so good at reading opponents, and I think he said, we don't want Lifestealer 1v1 against Elder Titan. Lifestealer straight up wins that matchup,
Yeah, it's
even
gonna
with
be
the bonus damage.
Wisp CK going bot, and I wonder if the Chen's gonna go bot as well, and just basically.
Yeah. Definitely, there's no point really sending the Chen top if they're expecting the offensive Tron up there, because Chen will just get annoyed to hell, and it's going to be a case where Chen's not going to farm as well as you'd like, and may just send Chen bottom as well.
They're saying Xiao Tuji's keyboard has problems.
Well, he's restarting, it looks like, as hopefully not too many problems here now. Opening best of 3. We've got a pretty tight schedule today, as 2 best of 3s in SinaCup. We then hop on over to WePlay, I think right away, more or less, depending on how the series and matches go. And then
Well, I mean, we thought we're signing ourselves for 6 hours of gameplay, and then these Chinese teams win game in 25-30 minutes, so, you know. Last couple of days of casting SinaCup has been brisk.
well, the games before this, the winner bracket semifinals, that day was not, because that was when we had 2 best of 3s, both of them going 3 games, and some of them were about maybe 3 or 4 of the games were like 20 to 30 minute games. We had 1 or 2 quite long games.
Yeah.
And that was the best day we've had, and hopefully today produces something similar. We've got a winner bracket final, a loser bracket final. Loser of this will verse Tongfu directly afterwards, so don't just tune out afterwards. It's not just the 1 best of 3 guys. And I'm excited. I want to see Tongfu Zhou up against IG. So I'm hoping LGD win this just for that grudge match.
Well, we'll see. I think LGD is looking pretty good at winning this, because IG not exactly at top shape, but they are still playing really well. At least better, I think, pre-TI2 or during TI3, especially with the addition of Banana.
Introduce our 2 teams now, as IG are going to be playing on the Radiant side. They're going to have Banana still repping that Tongfu tag, much like How is. He's playing the Gyrocopter. Banana on Enchantress. Faith on the Rubik. That's your offensive challenge. Soloing the middle lane is going to be Ferrari 430 on Nyx Assassin, and then finally YYF on Lifesteal at the bottom lane.
Yeah, so we are going to see that 1v1. We got pretty happy when we saw Elder Titan top, but it looks like he's going to rotate mid. We're going to see Weaver mid. Oh, okay, no, he's just rotating off. They scouted the lane a little bit. They saw the trialing offensively coming up top, and they said, screw creep block mid. Yao, you're going to get the mid lane. I'm going to get the 1v1 against Lifestealer. I like the lanes a lot more now. The Weaver should dominate Lifestealer very easily. And then we're going to see Yao going solo mid against Elder Titan.
Yeah, and 430 actually got a poor man's shield starting item, expecting to be up against that Weaver, but we're not going to see that matchup.
Poor man's shield, less effective against Elder Titan. It's still really good, though. You can see that he's actually hitting for 75 now. This is what I mean. You Astro once, and you are impressive beast on the mid lane. No Mana Burn coming from Nyx Assassin just yet. But let's quickly introduce the Dire player real fast. We have Xiao Tuji playing a 1-row carry. He gets lifted up the top lane. Should just run back. Not even a Rocket Barrage being dropped. Only Flat Cannon being leveled up here by How. Of course, we have DDC playing your Wisp. In the jungle, we have DD playing the support Chen. In the mid lane here, Yao on the Elder Titan. And last but not least, Xiao 8 on the bot lane of Weaver.
Yeah, so 1v1, we've seen this Weaver versus Lifesteal 1v1 matchup. I think last time was Weaver in the safe lane, so he dominated the matchup a bit more, but even in the offlane, I feel Weaver does very well here.
Actually, I think it was in the offlane as well.
Okay.
We've seen this matchup quite a bit.
And it was definitely YYF on that Lifesteal, I remember.
Yeah. It was Weaver favored no matter who was playing what.
Okay.
So this matchup is not too easy, and I imagine YYF is going to still lose it, but what we saw out of that trialing was he just came back mid-game. It doesn't matter. Lack of farm, lack of levels. He just went around and killed people.
Yep. Top lane, this Tornado still being as annoying as ever. All regen just being chewed through here. I think Rabbit, Zhao Tuji's already chewed through 3 tangos.
Perhaps going to go right on Banana. Banana steals one creep. Is going to get stolen back. Worse than snare. There it is. And here we go. We're going to see the 2-second stun. And that's going to be first blood going to Zhao Tuji. Very nicely played. This is the big risk of running an offensive trialing Enchantress. You just don't have the support of your other support because they can't really dive as deep into the enemy jungle as you would in a kind of your defensive standard trialing.
Yeah, that was caught really far out of position. It did not really need to be there, but either way, LG recognizes it, immediately jumps on that, and we do see Zhao Tuji picking up the first blood. I think even picking up a bottle straight here, sure you want your boots, but picking up the bottle because you can share the regen between him and Wisp may be the way they look to play this. But either way, you're going to see this mid lane matchup probably want some bottle and bottle correction of their own.
Yeah, and I wonder whether Enchantress is going to just back off completely. She's going to start over here and jungle a little bit. She does have a smoke at the seed. And the reason I say whether you want to back off is because offensive trialing, if you don't get those kills, and worse, if you start losing kills, you generally lose that game. You generally lose the game very quickly if you don't back away. But it looks like he is going to be, at least for now, a little bit stubborn and go back up top. And there you go. There's a bottle being purchased here on Zhao Tuji. Just like you say, you could share the regen between Wisp and CK and basically get a lot more bang out of your buck. Yeah,
and especially against the offensive trial, you know there's going to be a lot of fights breaking out. You need to make sure you have mana for stuns as well as the Reality Rift. And actually just going to go right in on Faith. Tether Stun is there. Chen's actually come in with a... Is this his Centaur or the Enchantress? Looks like Enchantress. Chen has an Alpha Wolf. He's going to steal the Centaur now. Can he get a stun down? It gets immediately stolen back. Nice play from Banana, but it's still the Rubik who goes down. So even with that sort of Enchantress micro, LGD just had the far superior firepower.
Yeah, the lane is done here for IG. And it's like you said earlier, there is no second option for coming from IG because what is really a Lifestealer going to do against this lane? He's going to have similar trouble as well. So for better or for worse, IG is just stuck here with these lanes. One questionable thing about what House been doing is he's getting flat cannon at level 1 and it's been spamming to use it. I guess they're looking at pressure on the top lane. It was a pretty good idea earlier on, but you know, now it's not doing much. And it's the second or third time that lately we've seen Wisp defensive dual lane or tri lane actually winning. I think a lot of us, myself included, is really underestimating what a Wisp could do defensively in the dual lane. I remember a Wisp Spearbreaker winning a lane once. I remember yesterday when Kaipi offensive trialing against the Wisp tri lane and still lost. So it seems like we cannot underestimate Wisp.
Yeah. Ferrari's going to find the 4-minute rune, finds a DD. He's getting close to level 6, so maybe that's the answer to this top Wisp lane just beating IG's trailing is send a Nyx Assassin there for an early rotation because Lifesteal's kind of stuck mid, but if Ferrari can get himself a useful rune, maybe not this one, but around the 6-minute mark, if he gets a haste or an invis, definitely look towards him, maybe looking to rotate up top.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job keeping Yao's mana pool down, but Yao will be bottle crawling as well, so no big deal there. Back in the top lane here, we're going to see finally a little bit of tower siege, so I guess that's why the flat cannon has been used non-stop. You can see Zhao Tuji threatening to use a Reality Rift to pull them in, and there's a Tether Stun to follow through, but he's respecting the power of definitely a Rocket Barrage. That could bring him quite low.
That Wildwind Ripper was just like right-clicked on DDC, gets him down to half HP, but not going to be too much of a problem. Just going to scout out the Chen now as well. Chen doesn't really want to steal that too much. Maybe just wants some farm from it. But Chen is level 4.5, while Enchantress is still sitting on that level 2, about to hit level 3. But that's where you can see that Chen is just having a much better time in this trialing versus trialing scenario.
Ooh, if the tower gets denied here, in fact it is under deny range, that will be a lot of time being wasted here coming from IG. They're not going for the deny just yet, although they can be now because it's quite far, and if they all focus on it, it could be a very easy deny.
I think it's more they want to try and bait IG in. They feel confident. They've got
have
the
Glyph,
Chen.
yeah.
They've got Glyph. They've got level 4, level 5 Chaos Knight, and this is not going to be an easy initiation for
Back
IG.
in the mid lane, we're going to see Vendetta into Impale with a double damage. 430 draws a very nicely kill. Teleportation comes out. That's from the Lifestealer. They want to make it go, but suddenly it is LGD that's making it go. Zhao Tuji going to go right on Faith. Faith instead. Rocket Barrage gets dropped out. There's going to be a Shockwave as well. Here comes YYF, and he's going to try to get an open wound. That's going to be on DD, but DD, can he make it out of there? He's dropping low. He's dropping fast, and he's going to get brought down by YYF. Meanwhile, back under the tower here, it's going to be Tong Fu Hao trying to get the kill, but what a Shockwave coming out. They're going to get a kill and protects DDC, and suddenly IG in a hell lot of trouble because the tower's going to end up getting a nice shot. It makes a similar TP, and LGD score 5-2.
Right before that Chen died, he stole the Enchantress's Satyr, and that Shockwave was what ended up finishing off Hao.
Not over
now
just
Nyx
yet.
Assassin rotates in, snipes the Wisp in the background. He needs to get out of here though. Wisp.
He's got Magic Wand charges, so he should be okay.
Yeah. With just the one kill there, looks like Zhao 8 not going to do a whole lot except get the hell out of there. But both teams rotating very early, knowing what the importance of just an early tower gold's going to do. I mean, Lifesteal TPs before the fight even breaks out. Then you have Weaver TPing in as well. Nyx Assassin rotating. That was every single hero coming towards that top lane.
Except Yao. He says, I just want to farm it. Get out of here, guys.
Well, he'd just been solo kill, which is going to set him back quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, he's doing okay now. His team's got themselves quite a bit of advantage, and this is exactly what you want to have when you're playing things like Wisp and Chen, who arguably early game might not be as weak as I thought, but you just want to make sure you win the laning stage. And look at Wisp; he's already level 5 against a very under-level Gyrocopter who is gonna get smoke ganked and Gyrocopter, gonna get relocate ganked to death. And if you look at YYF, he's somehow level 8, which is not bad at all. How's that lane been doing in terms of CS? He's got 30 CS to Yao's, or Xiao 8's 37, so that's impressive in its own right. He did okay against Xiao 8.
Yeah, it is going to be Hao, though, who rotates bottom now, picks himself up and braces, so quite likely see a fast drum of endurance out of him. IG, we said they like to sort of fight early, group up and fight, so having these early drums, just sort of cheap, cost-effective items, is going to help them out a lot to do so.
Yeah, half the times I see Bracer on Gyrocopter and they do finish upgrading drums, the other half is just
Casual Bracer.
Casual Bracer, merely respecting the power of possible nukes and of course CK Wisp in this scenario.
Top lane. There's an infested lifesteal in the Nyx Assassin. Ferrari wants to strike with YYF. And it looks like CK may be the target. 950 HP. He's very, very tanky, but on his own, he will die to this combo. But Wisp is there, as is the Chen. Chen not level 6 just yet.
Ooh, he's going for that one last hit. And here we go. The gank comes out. Very, very easy kill. That's going to be drawing a TP from Xiao 8. Xiao 8 says, never mind, cancels it. And bothering here. I really like that gank coming out. We generally don't see Lifestealer making those moves. Both of them actually TP up to the top lane, Vendetta up, and then Infested inside for the kill. A lot of times she's like, oh, let's just go for the farm. Again, IG, as well as many Chinese teams, playing a lot more aggressively than they have in the past.
That's just a kill that you don't really expect to have coming if you're LG. You think Nyx was mid, sure he's ganking, but you probably think the Lifesteal is either jungling or farming somewhere on the map because he did not win his 1v1 matchup, so he needs to play catch-up, but he's playing catch-up by going for kills.
Yeah. Well, Faith is definitely by playing catch-up. He's getting some neutral kills, hitting himself up to level 5. He just wants a free lane for a bit, which not really going to get it because now level 6 is up on Wisp, and if you are seen on the map without backup, you're practically dead. I really like the boot choices from both the IG cores. It's face boot on both. You need to get away. Meanwhile, Xiao 8, oh, he's in trouble. Where it's going to be, oh, no time lapse from Xiao 8. Xiao 8 gets lifted up, and the call down is going to bring him down.
Yeah, Ferrari did go for the Vendetta hit there. I think knowing he'd hit the Impale, even if he got the Shikuchi off, you can Impale and then the cooldown would do enough damage. But we do see IG now look to follow this up with a tier 1 tower push at the bottom lane of their own. We've seen them get one tower top, and right now LGD yet to pressure towers. The one hero who's good at defending, though, is Yao. He's already bottom on his Elder Time. We haven't seen him come into play just yet, but this is where he needs to make his mark.
If Yao hits a stomp, then they get the defense. If they don't, then they don't, because Chen is not making a single rotation. The only way they make a defense is hitting a stomp, getting an Earth Splitter, and relocating in. Because Chen is just like, yeah, gonna keep jungling.
And Chen used his ulti to try and save the Weaver there, it looks like.
Ah, yeah, seems like. Didn't work out, though.
We don't have full sound, so you guys on the stream maybe did hear that, but yeah, Chen pops his ult, and I think that may either a bit too late or just wasn't enough to save him regardless.
Oh, what's CK still farming away? This is not exactly where this combo is really strong at. It's really strong at when you could just get solo pickoff, but obviously against teams that are fully aware of it, it's going to be a little bit harder. So we'll see if this Wisp CK is going to join the battle anytime soon. They have actually dropped the Sentry just in lane to make sure that they are not going to get ganked.
There's a Gyrocopter who's very gankable by this Wisp CK at bottom lane, especially if they see Lifesteal or anyone at mid, and another Infest gank is coming in. IG wasting no time to go for another one. Every Vendetta, I feel, has just been used effectively by Ferrari. The first one for the solo kill at mid, follows that up with a kill at top and a kill at bottom, so he's made really good use from these Vendetta ganks.
Yeah, eat my words. As they say, his Nyx Assassin not usually as effective as his other heroes. This game, extremely effective. Looks like LG thinking about smoking of their own, grouping up mid. Where exactly is that smoke? Not coming. But, I mean, you talk about the possibility of a Nyx Assassin Vendetta gank. Central War gets dropped on the mid lane, and they just have division on both top and mid. So, where's that Nyx going? Nyx going to run past wards, and he's going to run on top of the sentry if he's going to make that gank. He's now going behind tier 2. Not going to find anything. He knows that there's a sentry in lane, so he can't walk into it.
Even with the sentry top, he still, I feel, can at least burst someone down here. Unfortunately, Vendetta's now worn off, but if you find the Wisp just gets completely destroyed.
Can he find the Wisp? He sees him.
Nope.
Nope,
It's
not
going to
really.
rotate down river, and this observer will now spot him. They're pinging him out.
But meanwhile, it looks like we're going to see a smoke and going for How. And if How gets seen here, are they going to go for Faith or How? It seems like Faith is going to be a lot easier as a kill. Relocate is going to be used for him as well. Where's the reality rift? Here it is. Xiaotuji's going to get focused. No, it's going to be a two-man impale from 430. The air splitter comes down. The cooldown's going to fly through as well. Xiaotuji dropping low, but he's going to survive. And it's going to be a 2-for-1 exchange. Only losing a Wisp. Not too bad. I think a lot of that was thanks to Yao, though. Dropping an insane amount of AoE in that team fight.
Yeah,
Stomp's going to come in, and it looks like Rage is going to just completely block it. They're going to blow up Enchantress very easy. YYF going for the kill. He's going to get it regardless. Xiaotuji dropping the stun. That's a 4-second. They're going to try to burst down YYF. YYF still okay. He does not have Infest anymore. Xiaotuji getting lifted, and he's going to get burst down. Faith back in the fight. I'm not too sure whether he bought back or just responded. Meanwhile, the chase goes the other way. Now the trade is 1v2 the other direction. It's going to be Vendetta. Impel's barely going to clip him. The dust comes out, and Xiao 8 going to get picked up as well. IG fully prepared with dust and sentries. Very well played here from IG.
It started off as a 2-for-1 in LGD's favor, but it sure as hell did not end that way. I think IG not losing another hero, and they got 3 more kills, ends up 4-for-2. They're maybe not done at this bottom lane. They're going to at least go for a tier 2 tower, sorry, the tier 1 tower, and Chen losing most of his creep army there. Lifesteal and Fast, he finishes off with another one with right click, so a big gold game for IG in that bottom lane. The TP in from Nyx Assassin, he had Lifesteal infested in them, and everything just sort of worked out perfectly for them in the end.
Can you give us a battle log check to see how many people have bought back in that team fight?
Bought back?
Yeah, for IG. I don't.
Did any?
I'm not sure.
I did not see a buyback.
Sound is off, so maybe I could turn it up here on the
Yeah,
studio.
yeah.
I can't hear the buyback.
0
sounds.
buybacks from IG.
That's impressive.
Yeah. It was just LGD kind of threw everything at that initial little clash where they got the 2 kills. And it was 2 kills on, I believe, Rubik and Gyrocopter. So even so, I feel they just didn't have any way of dealing with Nyx Assassin and Lifesteal. Nyx Assassin is very power leveled. He's hit level 11 now. He wasn't level 11 for that fight. He was level 10. But him combined with the Lifestealer just do a ton of damage. And Lifestealer can just rage out of a lot of it.
Yeah, I think the ultimate trade at the end, it was a 3-for-3, but it definitely was an IG victory, which they...
It was 4-for-2, I want to say.
4-for-2. No,
Or
they definitely
4-for-3.
got 3. They definitely got 3, so...
LGD did.
LGD got the Gyro, they got the Faith,
that's right.
and they got also
Enchantress at the end.
Enchantress at the end. Oh! Faith thinks he seals the Kuchi, but the reality rift coming out of the trees, and that's going to be dead. But immediate, just multiple TPs, they just don't care. Here comes 430 already with Lifesteal payload inside. And seeing that, do they want to back off? They have Sentry Ward down the lane. In fact, multiple Sentry Wards.
Well, this is knocked me an opening for Nyx Assassin to sort of vendetta into, but once again, he's got Lifestealer infested inside of him, and this has just been a recurring theme from IG. They know that this combo can just get kills all over the map. They're going to vendetta through the enemy jungle, it looks like. They don't go through the middle lane, knowing that's a very likely place for Sentry Wards, and they will pick up a DD rune, I think, decides, hey, let's get a bit greedy. This is very likely to have been spotted there, but he didn't actually get spotted.
Yeah, meanwhile, Faith is going to grab himself yet another Sakuchi. He's going to just try to solo defend this tower, which, whether he gets reality rift or not, decides whether he's surviving or not. And comes in, trying to do something. Meanwhile, Xiaotuji's still waiting.
Ferrari coming from the backline zone.
Oh, reality rift. Oh! Gets a little bit vision fogged. He comes right back in fact. Really want to make it go.
Oh, Ferrari got spotted. The Dire Observer is directly on top of him, and they should expect that there's an infest in him.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta know, right? I mean,
they
Xiao
don't.
goes right there. Can he get the time lapse off? He doesn't. That's aggressive. Faith lifts up the Wisp, and Wisp is gonna get brought down as well. We see a buyback coming in from Xiao. TPs to the tier 2, but that's a decided IG victory. Xiaotuji's gonna TP out, and that means DD's completely dead. That's a buyback and 3 kills, and nothing accomplished. Meanwhile, we do see the stomp. That is gonna hit on Banana, but they just can't follow up on that.
That was a big misplay from Zhao Wei. He ran in directly to the Nyx Assassin.
They saw him.
Yeah. He wanted to, he's like, I'm just going to go and harass there, but he didn't take into account the lifesteal damage, even, which is something which has happened so many times. You think
They
he
didn't
would.
take into account of a Vendetta double damage on Yao.
Yeah.
I mean, they just lost a team fight. LGD on the meltdown. Yeah, Xiao Ei's the only person here. No, Wussy case here as well. They're going to focus on Banana. Banana trying to heal himself up there. He's going to be dead. YYF, though, caught really out of position. He's going to have Infest, so he should be okay. Infest into the rain tree.
That rain trip's going to die
Well,
soon?
he's got
Where's
to be
that
careful
next
because
quick wave?
Chen is coming. If Chen... What a Centaur style. Centaur gets 3. He's going to try to rage TP, but there's no rage. Where's the rage part of that rage TP? What was that about? He definitely had it on cooldown,
Yeah.
or off cooldown.
I think he just was
Misclick?
button mashing a bit too fast, like pushes them at the same time and never actually casts the rage maybe, but
He had to make that escape
Yeah.
because he wasn't going to be safe. Once Chen got there, Chen would have sent that creep back to the base, and suddenly you're in hell lot of trouble. So he had to make that gamble, and it wasn't really a gamble. It should have been completely fine, but he just...
IG are
No.
getting trades here at the bottom lane. They use all that distraction time to try and get a tier 1 tower. It's going to be deniable, but they don't want to commit to this. Oh, there's a Wisp CK relocate, but the Wisp gets completely blown up. Great play coming out from Hao here. It looks like he is going to still take a fall. Xiao Wei as well as Zhao Tuji combining up for this one. Tongfu Hao doing a ton of damage, and they're going to lose the CK here. It looks like Faith could just finish him off with a Fade Bolt, and he'll pay for this with his life maybe, but even so, it's well worth it, and he's not even dead. Xiao Wei.
Xiao's got 6 charges on the magic
Oh
stick,
my
not going to
gosh.
find it off. Meanwhile, we do see Yao on the run
Go
there.
for deny.
Oh,
Yeah, he
deny
got the
attempt.
deny.
Blink Dagger coming out here from 430, trying to make that deny.
He's got Vendetta damage if he wants to use
Oh,
it. He's going to do so. No mana for a Fade Bolt. There's Arcane Boots up. He now pops it, so he's got another Shikuchi as well as a Fade Bolt. And IG are just playing some really interesting, aggressive Dota here, just taking chances all over the map and coming out on top. I feel Zhao H's just been sort of putting himself in bad positions one too many times on this Weaver. He's just overestimating his own survivability because Nyx Assassin is always there. They've always got Dust or Sentries, and they're just locking him down so well.
Yeah, meanwhile, 430's play on Nyx Assassin has been nothing short of marvelous. Take back exactly everything I've said about this Nyx Assassin not being effective. He's 3-0-9.
Yeah.
Involved in 12 out of their 16 kills, so hasn't died yet at all. Blink Dagger already up. I wonder what his next item of choice is. Dagon is generally where you want to be if you're this far ahead, but I like things like Vlad's. I like things like Yule Scepter. I like utility items coming out from your Nyx, but we'll see what he likes. 430, again, Vendetta up, or Nyx Assassin up. Sorry, Lifestealer up, I guess is the term. You could blink in and just go for some kills.
Yeah, you don't have to rely on the Vendetta, because at some point there's going to be a gem on the dire side. They're always having Sensual, so just a Blink Impale, in a lot of ways, can be more effective than a Vision. But he's feeling confident. He's going to rotate towards bottom, and it's Zhao A, once again, who could be on the receiving end of a nasty, nasty gank.
Oh, Zhao is chasing for some fur box. What a bait. What a bait. He's going to go. Are we going to just Blink Impale? They're going to just running away. That
I
means
hope he
Sakuchi's
Blink
gonna be down.
Impales.
Yeah, Blink Impale should do it. He sees him just barely. Xiao's got the spider sense, but oh no.
Easiest kill of IG's life.
Yep. That's yet another kill on Weaver.
That's 5 deaths to Zhao Wei, and 3 or 4 of those have just been in the last 5 minutes of this game.
Yeah, I think what we've seen out of Weaver from the last couple of days of casting professional Dota in both the Eastern and Western scene is that the Weaver that's walking around actively getting ganks off is the one that's being a lot more successful. You know, they're really far off in their items, really far off in their levels, and it's a Weaver that's passively farming away is the one that's constantly getting picked off. So, I mean, the one I really remember was Eternal Envy's Weaver that was trying to split push by himself and got picked off multiple times. So, same thing here for Xiao, trying to farm his way back into this game. I think Weaver doesn't seem like a hero that's actively a ganker, but the successful Weavers are the gankers.
He's tried early on to he would TP to the fights that were going down, but his results were not good
Blink,
enough.
Infest, Nyx Assassin Impale. They waited for Xiao, and Xiao dead again.
Because Chaos Knight alone is not going to be able to do enough damage. It needs to be the Weaver who provides sort of the secondary source to clean up. Chaos Knight in the front lines, even when he's got his BKB, will maybe stay alive and can pick off a support hero like Enchantress or Rubik, but has no chance of dealing with the Lifestealer, with the Nyx Assassin or the Gyrocopter. That's where Weaver comes in, and Weaver at this point has Treads and Wraithband. Nowhere near a Linken's, nowhere near a BKB. IG are just looking really good. They're dominating LGD in the last 5 minutes of the game.
The net worth really shows here. All 3 of members of IG just so far, really, really far ahead. Your support Rubik, who had like 3 or 4 deaths, is actually doing very well. DD just walks back into the army of IG, and well, not exactly a place where you
They'll
want
clean
to
up this Chen creep army too if they want.
Meanwhile, it looks like we have Hao popping his BKB, just man-fighting these guys. Looks like Phantasm's going to use them. We're going to get the perfect world server bug. We're not sure what that was about. Xiao Tuji's going to die as
I think it was an Infest. No, it wasn't Infest. Infest was on cooldown. But either way, that was something explosive and special coming out. We do see Yao actually finish off the Rubik, so no more annoying Shikuchi Rubik floating around. But it's a 2-for-2 trade, so as far as LGD's recent fights have been going, that's the best they've had.
Yeah, that's not too bad considering that Chen just basically fed in the early of that team fight. So, Black in the mid lane's going to be, where's the dust coming out? No dust just yet. They have a gem available. I think somewhere has
Sentry.
It's like Sentry right in front of it.
Yeah.
So they did see him, and again, with this Blink Dagger, it's just so annoying for them to get away with.
Zhao Eig's just feeding, and not by
there's
any
nothing
terrible...
you can do about it.
It's not terrible play by him. It's like, what do you actually do as Weaver? If you're sitting where they can't jump on you, you're doing nothing. You're not farming, you're not even taking part in team fights. He has to at least be doing something, but...
If 430 really wants him, he could just blink on top, have the Spike Carapace activated, and then just go for the Impale afterwards. Because if you're Sakuchi, you're going to stun yourself.
Yeah.
They dust you, and then you're dead. So, of course, he hasn't been really doing that yet. He's just blink Impaling because Xiao really can't react that fast.
Here's the answer from Ferrari. It's not going to be a Dagon. He's going to go for the Force up, so more utility coming out from him.
Yeah.
Blink and Force. His mobility is just scary, and this is also going to help out his team, having the ability to use that Force up to save heroes like the Gyrocopter who maybe get initiated on.
Yeah, that's a big one because with CK, it's going to be basically eliminating one hero at the outset of the team fight, and being able to at least prolong that is a big deal. A lot of times we've seen heroes like Abaddon yesterday in the Western scene not really going to exactly save a hero, because if a team wants to focus you down, there's no hero in the game that can help you survive, minus like a Dazzle or Omni Knight. But if you could prolong that death from coming, that allows your team to input a lot more damage. And I think Force Staff is the item that really can help you do that as well. For now, they're going to go into the jungle and start working on these Ancients. And what is LGD going to do? Are they going to try to sneak a Roshan, or are they going to try to push the Tier 1 tower?
They need to be grouped up as 5, it feels like, and Xiao Wei needs to not be the one on the front lines. He needs to pick up whatever HP survivability he can. Sakuchi getting stolen again, which is no real surprise. It's something really hard and impossible to practically avoid. Ancestral Spirit goes out. This is how they can somewhat push safely. Use this to get vision. Use this to scout things out.
I don't know, man. It's a Sakuchi into a lift Xiao. It's on the run. He gets
Instead.
ensnared. He's got a time lapse. He will time lapse, but look, he's taking it so much damage. Where's the Ursula? It's going to come out right now. It's going to hit right on Hao, but Hao says, I don't care. Looks like the Force Staff on himself. 430 is going to die. Looks like Phantasm and the explosive red dot comes out. Hao, the BKB, is just melting through everybody. Buyback comes here from Xiao 8. And we do have Xiao Tuji being brought down. Yao on the front line, right-clicking with this big hammer. Chaotic team fight ensues, but it seems like IG's winning because Yao's on the run. He gets lifted by Faith, and that's going to be the death of him. GG immediately comes out from LGD.
They may have killed off, like, Nick. It started off like a somewhat even trade, okay for LGD, but when you have a Rubik who's on the front line, Shikuching in and out, doing a ton of damage, you know you've lost the fight. You know you've lost the match, because they had no answers to Rubik, to Lifestealer. They could focus all their efforts, kill one hero, maybe two, but after that, the fight goes downhill so quickly for LGD.
Yeah, looking at the draft now, I mean, high science 2020, but LGD really lacks a very spammable AoE spell. I mean, Elder Titan Astral Spirit Stomp is what, once every 25, 30 seconds? Or maybe 15, 20-ish seconds?
I think it's about 20.
Yeah,
I guess,
it's not a very spammable spell. Meanwhile, on the other side, you're working with things like Flak Cannon, you're working with Impale, you're working with Lift, and LGD, once the fight happened, they just fully had to commit. We go back to the team fight on the bottom, where at the beginning, they won the team fight.
Yes.
But they had to stay because they couldn't really run, and once the team fight went longer, IG has spells, and LG did not. So this draft may be not really suited for
IG
prolonged
has had
team
such
fights.
great chasing, like you say. The Rubik Shikuchi can chase people down, as can the Nyx Assassin as soon as he got that Blink Dagger. So there wasn't really a good way to deal with that for LGD. They would just get hunted down.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes Game 1. We have a best-of-3 series, which means LGD do have a chance to bounce back. But right now, IG, similar to past results, well, not so much at TI3, but before then, they were dominating the Chinese scene, and they're looking to continue to do so, even with that little TI3 hiccup. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Game 2.
It's a big TI3. Well, I don't know what